right. What did you do to the car?
That's information I will share with you under certain conditions only.
Why would I betray you?
We all have our secrets. We just didn't get to yours yet.
Hello guys, this is Dr. Cool Auto Fix, and today I'm going to be teaching you most of those things that the manufacturers of HVAC system never taught you, using manifold gauge set and some other tools which can be a little bit cheaper to use, which I've been using that work out for me. And on this adding oil into the system, if suppose you're done, maybe you're hearing some rattling noise inside the system or anything at all that makes you want to add oil into the AC system, you should be very careful, because there is exact quantity that is required. So, and if you add more, it's going to create more problem inside the system. So right now I'm going to be teaching you how to use this manifold gauge set right here, manipulating it to be able to use it for your own betterment in getting a PAG oil into the system even when it's fully charged. So let's get to it. Now I have this device right here, which is like a syringe, but in this case it's well designed, it's plastic, and it goes between 10 to 15 bucks. I bought it at AliExpress. So if you're in this very field or you're a DIY, you might want to get it. You can see the quick connect coupler, which is blue. Blue simply means the low port. It actually goes into the low port, and you can see a trace of UV dye with a PAG oil that's currently inside it. So this is my first idealistic cheap tool which you can be able to use, which is very affordable. And now, since you see it's actually been screwed into with a quick connect coupler that can only go into the low suction side, so you don't do mistake to connect the red one into it, because if you connect it, you're going to be making this a time bomb for yourself. Okay, this very first method which I'm going to be teaching you guys today is one of my best method, and very idealistic. And here you're going to be battling with pressures. We're talking about between 20 to 50 psi. But the very good side, the upside potential of this very device here is, this tool here is, you will not need a refrigerant to be able to push the PAG oil into the system. All right. So you need to pay a very good attention to the processes which I'm taking in order to be able to inject oil into the system to avoid harming yourself. So let's go to it. Now the main reason for this video is because it's going to actually help you for most of you who have finished setting up the system and you forgot to add oil, or maybe you add oil but you're feeling that the oil is not enough. Maybe you didn't measure it well enough before you get it inside, or you are already working on a system that's completely set up but you don't know exactly the right quantity of the oil that is inside it. So let's go to it. So the first thing you want to do here, and the first procedures which work out, which you should use, you might get yourself a safety goggle to protect your eye from splash of oil or some other things. All right, now so you want to start the car first. So when you start the car, like you see here, then you want to put the AC on, and listen very carefully. When you put the AC on, I want you to put the AC fan to be between 2 and 1. There is a very reason why you should put it that very put the fan level very low. I'm going to explain later as we go on. Now as soon as you do that, you want to unscrew this and unscrew the PAG oil which you want to use, be it the one that have UV dye inside. Then you're going to pull up just like you see me pull up. When you pull up and fill it up, if suppose you don't want to fill it, if you want to it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna fill everything up. You just have to take the right quantity, and if there is air inside, you gotta bleed it out, just like you saw me bleed it out. Then cover the oil because it's a hygroscopic tendency. It can turn air into water. So now you want to screw it back to the quick connect coupler, like you see me doing right here. The blue one, not the red one, not the high side, but the blue one. Now when you've got it screwed in place, you want to locate the suction port of the car with the engine on. Listen very carefully. With the engine on, with the AC on, all right? This is where you gotta be very, very careful and take things with care. Look at how I hold it, all right? Your left have to hold it and hold a grip, all right? Because it's gonna force your hand, all right? You see how I'm pumping it right inside there? That's how you should do it. And you pull it out straight, because if suppose you leave it right there, the pressure that is there is gonna really hit you and can actually destroy this, all right? So the right hand is gonna hold the quick connect coupler to connect it to the suction part, while the left hand hold between the pump and where you should be able to hold it firmly and get in the PAG oil inside. All right, now if suppose you don't have this oil injector, then you should stick around. There is a second method which I've been using even before getting this from AliExpress. I didn't start it with this. I think out my own solution before I started finding that there is some other device or tool that I can actually do the job better. So that is what I'm going to be introducing you to today. So for most of you who don't have this device, all hope is not lost. Just pay a very good attention for this second episode, which is still in this video here. I'm going to be showing you the procedures which I'm going to be using to actually get it in. So you're going to be needing a manifold gauge set like this one here. I think most of you who live in the Western world knows it goes between 40 to 50 bucks. There are even cheaper ones, all right? Now when you get it right there, when you get it on, you want to read the pressure. If the pressure is right here, so the idealistic situation here which I'm about to tell you guys is you want to keep the fan low while you're trying to perform this service. Okay, using the second method which I'm about to teach you here, this second method is very, very idealistic and applicable only when the system is not fully charged with refrigerant. Because if it is fully charged with refrigerant, all right, there's gonna be issue when you add more refrigerant, because that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be using refrigerant to push the oil inside, all right? I don't recommend you use this very second method if the system has been fully charged with refrigerant. You should apply the first method which I teach you on this very video right here. Now what you want to do next is to make sure that the high pressure side on the gauge is fully turned anti-clockwise. So when you do that, then this is where you're gonna be performing the magic to get this done. You can see, so make sure that the both of them are well screwed tight. Then find a place to hang it. Even if you don't find a place to hang it, find a very stable position where you're gonna be putting it. Then the next thing which you're gonna be doing right here is you're gonna be needing a 20 ml syringe like this one right here. 20 ml syringe. Okay, yeah, I know a lot of kids around you are gonna be a little bit scared right now, because they're gonna be feeling like, oh, doctor is around, it's gonna inject someone. That's right, the doctor is around and you want to inject the car. This time it's not your own bomb I'm gonna be injecting, but the kids. Okay, you can see someone around me right now actually watching my demonstration. So this is not more like tapping my veins to get it loaded with a PAG oil to make my systems to get colder. No, this is gonna be looking for the vein of this car, and you're gonna be needing some paper towel, all right, to be able to clean up your hands, because you're gonna be having some oil wet in your hands right here. So now what you want to do is you want to remove the quick connect coupler from the suction side. I repeat, you want to remove the quick connect coupler from the suction side. And this service, like I said, is better when it's between 40 and 30 psi. all right, 40 and 30 psi. Why I'm saying this is it is a lot safer for you, just like when you're using the other one, because the first method which I showed you there, that if you don't pay a very good attention, you don't require refrigerants to get it in using that one, but this one you're gonna be needing a refrigerant. So you're gonna get it in, all right, and draw some PAG oil, even if it is not PAG oil, yeah, PAG oil, or be it the one that have a UV dye with inside, or the one that doesn't have UV dye. If it have air inside, you bleed it. The same procedure with the other one, but just a different twist. The twist here is that you're going to be using a refrigerant to drive it in, all right? So when you fill it up to the level you want, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to fill up the syringe, all right, even if it is half. But in most cases, I think you want to start with 20 ml first. So when the system, if suppose maybe it's rattling or any noise you're hearing, you gotta put that in first, and cross-check, listen to the sound. Now for this very one here, you can see there is a pin here that actually is on one side of the end, so you have loosed the other side. When you lose the other side, there is no pin there, so that is where you want to be injecting it from. So you had it just like I had it in place right now, and gently push it in, all right, inject it in. The longer hose can be able to take up to a full 20 mil, all right. I'm using the transparent one so you can be able to see the activity. So when you're done, now you have to quickly screw it up to the manifold gauge set, because you don't have to allow it to stay out longer to start drawing air, because the oil have a hygroscopic tendency. So you screw it back into the manifold gauge set, then the other remaining part you screw it to the low side of the quick connect coupler. Then as soon as it's done, the next thing you want to do, all right, because right now you have the oil inside trapped, so you want to make sure that the suction side, this thing is actually well locked. Then you connect it. You can see it right there, all right. Now you want to make sure that you screw it very tight there, because if there is any air leak from there, the oil is gonna be leaking out, just like you see right here. So you don't want to do that mistake, all right. So because there is pressure already inside the system, and I want you to pay a very good attention. You don't do this service without the AC on or the compressor not on. No, the compressor have to be on and working. You can, as if you look at the gauge carefully right now, the gauge is not showing the same. Now this is where you want to get a refrigerant, which you want to be using to push the PAG oil into the system. Then you want to screw it all the way anti-clockwise to be able to shift the needle in. Then you screw it back on, all right. And when you screw it back on, there is a procedure to this. You're gonna lose the inlet pipe where it takes in refrigerant to be recharged, and then screw it to the can tap. Then when you screw it to the can tap, screw it very well. You can see the oil right there. You can see some of the bubbles in the oil right there. But don't worry, it's not gonna create any mess inside. So now you don't want, when you screw it completely back in after piercing the can, all right. Now this is what you want to purge it. If you don't have a screwdriver, you can use your finger. If you have a safety gloves on like me here, you want to use your finger to purge air out of the system. When you're done purging the air out of the system, then the next procedure which you want to be doing right now is to face the can upside down. The reality there is, if you face it upward, is only gas, and that gas is not going to be sufficient enough. I mean, it's not going to have the pressure to push the PAG oil into the system. So when you face it down like this, you unscrew it so it will be ready. Then you can gently unscrew the other one. You can see that the oil is getting inside the system right now. So this method which I'm showing you right now is the best method in the practice if you're not having a cart. There is a cart machine which actually does this. If you don't have cart machine to that's gonna assist you to put the oil inside the system. At least you can manually, like you see right here, get the oil into the system, and don't over add it, because if you over add it, the system performance is going to reduce. So you can see with the syringe I think it costs less than a cent. So but the other one goes between, yes, this other one right here, you can see goes between 10 to 15 bucks. So right now when you're done, you want to make sure that you cover the oil, because it's going to be getting some moisture out of the air. Now that you know how to add oil into the system, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and I gotta catch you guys. Dr. Cool Auto Fix. Bye for now.